running short on a daily basis.
How many days you run short this week?
None.
Not a single one.
Excuse me, can I suggest that this really isn't supposed to be point counterpoint? I think what we're trying to do is try to capture, you see me write several notes, Ken's written several notes. I think it's more, let's get some ideas and let's try to use these ideas to help us focus on where we need to go.
I don't think I started that.
No, I'm saying, I didn't say you did. I'm just saying, I'm just suggesting to the group, instead of point, counterpoint, I think we ought to capture the ideas and let's digest.
Yeah, if you want to talk about finances, buying trucks, staffing, I'm ready to do that. But don't come out here and attack me.
Sir, I'm not trying to attack you.
No,
I feel that I am. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But we can sit here and we're going to be taking input that is not accurate. And that's why I want it to be accurate input.
I think we know the right facts that should be out there.
I can't sit here and sit on this table and hear facts that are not factual and then make a decision on those facts that are not factual. We have to have factual items on there.
What's not factual?
You said we're short of manpower every day of the week, daily.
I retract that statement so you can move on.
Thank you. Financing. I have on all our purchases, I have gone to the people and asked, is there an advantage to the kind of financing you're talking about? They said years ago, maybe. Now, no. There is no advantage to the kind of financing you're talking to. You're basically saying lease a truck, lease an ambulance. They're saying that's only good for people who don't have the small departments that come out and say, I don't have the money to buy a fire truck. What can I do? I need a fire truck. They say, here you are. We'll give you a fire truck. You give a minimum payment and make a payment per year. Fire trucks and equipment are not the same as your car you go out to lease. When you're done with the lease program on a fire engine, you don't just hand the fire engine back to the people. You have to pay out the balance. It's not the same as a lease a car or lease a truck. And so those are two things that, we're trying to, if you have the funds, it is better and financially feasible or financially better to go ahead and purchase the vehicle.
But at the expense of manpower.
I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the program of cash versus financing.
So if you could start a program and buy a squad today, buy one next year, buy one the third year, pay $40,000 a year the first year, $80,000 the second, $120,000 the third, have the first one paid off in 3 years, and keep a rotating basis where you can continue to do that year after year after year. You would be turning over a new squad every year, and you would not be investing $135,000 in lump payment. Is that wrong?
You still are at the end results are going to be there. You're still going to have to buy out that vehicle.
If you finance it for 3 years, it's going to be yours. We're not talking about leasing.
Okay, but we're going to be making payments the same as we are now. We're saving the money per year. We're budgeting per year.
But you're stealing it from buying.
I'll go with that. We won't argue that, Mike. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but that's one of the items we can look at. Are we spending more in vehicle than, we hear that. I hear that. Okay, I'll give you that. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman. Yeah, you can mark this day in history on the calendar. I agree with Mike on a couple of his points. You talked of the separate fund we created. I was against that at the last meeting. I got outvoted 5-1. I'm back on my game. I agree with you there. It ties our hands in case of extreme emergency. Also, I can't see reconsider the Station 1, throwing good money after bad. I feel we should get an architect on board, design a station for our property at 307, and use the Ohio CAF to finance it, because I've done some research and Ohio CAF can be used to finance stations. I don't know if I have any support. That's how I feel.
What about manpower?
I think our big need right now is that station. We
sure I'm hearing you.
Yeah.
It's more important to you to build a new station than it is to put firefighters into your vehicle.
I wouldn't rule out adding additional firefighters as a budget permits. I wouldn't rule that out. That's all.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody from the public?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Let them go first. Do you have something to say?
No,
Go ahead.
all right,
We'll get your name and address.
Carol Hamburg,
Carol? Okay.
Hamburg, 1279 Oxford.
Okay.
We are the biggest township, I guess, in county, correct? I mean, aren't we? We're the biggest
Yes.
one, all right. I don't know about too much finances. I only had a year of college, so I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I don't understand here, but what I do understand is why? If there's some money somewhere, why can't these ladies and gentlemen get a raise? Why can't we have more? We need more people. If it wasn't for these guys, I wouldn't have been here today. 3 times they saved my life. They need the help. Why can't we help them? Is there, I mean, everybody says there's money here, there's money there. Yeah, we need equipment, we need another truck, but we also need our people. So there's money somewhere, I don't know where there's money. Like I said, I don't have finances. All I know is we're a big township. We have great people. We need more. And we do need some more. I guess we need more, you said, the equipment. So I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry.
And a firefighter, the full-time and part-time, they're under a contract. They do get a yearly raise, you know, by 4-4 and whatever. You might want to close it 4-4 and 4 this year? Okay. I'll agree with you, though, they're underpaid. Anybody else?
Oh, yes.
Beth?
Yes. Beth Tehan, 5800 Chapel Road. All right, I'm just going to touch on a couple of things. I'm kind of following Mike's coattails here. So, South Madison, I know Station 3 is a storage building, as you put it, and I've seen it, and definitely is that. But again, if I lived in South Madison, I'd be hard-pressed to be at these meetings and be complaining that, how are you providing me service in a timely manner? The guys are great, nothing against the guys. But is it possible to open that up to volunteer staffing? There are so many firefighters that live in this area, in that area, that why can't you kind of think along those lines right here that could man that station just on a volunteer basis as needed, can move into, if Station 1's out, can move into Station 1, whatever is necessary to keep that manning stable. Just a thought. You know, because people come back, I run into people all the time that think that Station 3 is manned. Because there's a fire truck in there, they think that station is always manned. That's a problem. That's kind of a trust factor there.